Boston. As you already know, they're up 3-0, and the much-discussed possible Ben Simmons return is now off. The team announcing that he would not suit up in what could be the Nets' final game of the season because his back injury is flaring up again. As you know, he was on target to return Monday. All right, Matt, so another setback for Brooklyn. What can the Nets do to try to keep this series and their season alive with all this turmoil?
It's going to be tough. I mean, the Celtics have done something I've never seen happen in Kevin Durant's career, and they've made him look human. He's been superhuman since the day he stepped in this league, and they've been able to just stifle him with different defenses, physicality, beating him up, running double teams at him, fronting him. KD has 19 made baskets and 17 turnovers. So, he's just had a tough series, and obviously this team goes as he goes. The role players have played fairly well, but KD just hasn't been able to get himself going. His career averages is 29 points a game in the playoffs, along with 48% shooting. He's down to 22 points a game and 37% shooting. So again, shout out to Boston. But just like those old scary movies, they got to make sure the killer is dead. You don't want to give KD and this team any life. They got to make sure they handle game 4. If not game 4, they got to close it in game 5. You don't want to give KD and Kyrie any kind of confidence or any kind of light. They got to put them out of their misery.
They'll be there. Of course, Ben Simmons won't. Ben is 25 years old, so this might be a little tough for him to do, though he would be well served to not search his name on social media. The reaction has not been pretty. Matt, we'll see you tomorrow night. Yeah, no doubt.
Ball. 28 assists in his last 2 games. That's more than the Pels had as a team in Game 3. Looking to take a commanding 3-1 lead as they face New Orleans in Game 4. There's aforementioned Ingram getting off to a hot start early, using the screen, draining the free throw line jumper. Next Pelicans possession. Herb Jones finds Ingram in the corner, draining the 3. He's looking good. Later in the quarter, New Orleans up 2, driving baseline on the blow by through 2 Suns defenders. 11 points in the opening quarter is tied for his most in an opening frame this series. He's got 30 so far for the game. Up 3 after 1. Let's go to the second. Up 4, Valanciunas putting the moves on JaVale McGee. Plus the foul. Sweet move. He's got 25 and 12 so far for the game. Later in the quarter, Suns down 3. DeAndre Ayton, smooth turnaround jumper. Battle of the bigs. Right now, it is 105-81. 5 minutes left.
Okay, so the Nuggets are hoping to avoid being swept for the second straight year in the playoffs. Phoenix last year clipped them 4-0. Could be 4-0 for the Warriors, and moving on. Great game. Nuggets had a ton of energy, came out led by as many as 17. You'd expect it with the season on the line. But then it's a 5-point game, and Klay Thompson cuts it to 3. Next time the Nuggets have it. Jokic over Green. Remember, he waved goodbye to him there in San Francisco after game 2. Back up. And then Curry to Wiggins, who played so well on Sunday after being sort of invisible in the series. Nuggets next trip. Jokic, Gordon. Fouled by Dre, and he is done. Dre, of course, living it up. He's going to get every second of this. Gordon would hit both free throws to make it a 3-point game. He had a huge game, did Aaron Gordon. Curry had 33. Still coming off the bench in a little celebration because we're all tied. Next time the Dubs have it, Curry again to give the Warriors a 2-point lead. But nobody scored more points or played more minutes than Nikola Jokic, splitting the double team, and the Nuggets tie it. Now, next time, the Dubs have it. Thompson, who played so much of this game with 4 fouls. No. Wiggins, the opportunity for the putback. That won't drop. Nuggets fall. Wiggins had the opportunity. Nuggets got it. Under 40 ticks to play. Monte Morris out of nowhere with 24 points. And Denver takes the lead. What is Steve Kerr going to draw up? Jokic on the bench saying, I know what they're going to do. They're going to lob it. See, you can read his lips. The lob. The lob. He was right on the money. They tried to lob it to Wiggins. Austin Rivers with the deflection. The Nuggets come away with it. Pivotal moment in the game. Here's Jokic on how he snuffed it out from the sideline.
I think we largely filmed the most in the league. And I just remember it from the film. So and they had the same alignment. So I just kind of remember.
We had an idea. When I saw Wiggins setting that screen, I knew exactly where he was going. I've seen them run that play a couple times. As soon as I saw him do that, I knew they were going to try to throw it to him. And then when I turned and faced him and I saw him looking that way, I knew I could get that steal.
If I could do it over again, I'd probably draw up something different. But they made a great defensive play, and give them credit.
Indeed, give them credit. So now, what are they going to do? Jokic, best passing big man in basketball, to Will Barton, gets it to go. Jokic, 37, 8, 6, and saving one season. Denver finally showed that heart.
I mean, they're a championship team, you know. We needed to put up the fight. We didn't want to get swept. I think we didn't deserve to get swept. So it was a little bit more pride in ourselves. And we were fighting, you know, that they're a great team, but today we won.
Michael Malone has talked about just having fight. How much fight do you guys have left for a Game 5?
I mean, that's what we get. That's what we have. Just fight. Yes, the odds are against us, but you know we break the odds a couple times, so why not?
I'm just so proud of our guys, man. The thing that was keeping me up at night, aside from my daughters going to a prom, was just I didn't want to get swept. I did not want to get swept. You know, there's something about getting swept that just eats at you at your core. So I'm thrilled that we're still alive. We're not satisfied, but we can regroup and head out to San Francisco and try to find a way.
We're not in the greatest situation still. It's 3-1, guys. You know what I mean? I don't want to act like we tied it up tonight, but it's good to have success. You know what I mean? And at any level, and you know, it's a confidence builder for sure.
Malone needs to pin a corsage on Jokic. I mean, that's the reason they're alive. As for the Warriors, it was the 14th time Curry and Thompson both scored 30, and the first time they lost doing it. But you know, Steph, he's always looking for the silver linings. He kind of likes the challenge of where they stand at the moment.
You'd love to keep rolling like we were and, you know, not feel what losing's like in the playoffs, but I think it's a good test for us. You got to assume as you go through the playoffs, it's not just going to be a smooth ride. Like, adversity within the game, adversity if you lose a game, how you bounce back, show you know what your DNA is made of.
We took ourselves out of the game because we were too excited. And part of winning playoff basketball games on the road is executing, being poised, understanding what's happening, and sticking to the game plan. Like I said, we didn't deserve to win, but the focus now goes to you know, heading home and getting back in front of our fans. This is the situation you want in any playoff series when you're hosting. Sweep the first two, get 1 out of 2 on the road, and go home with a chance to clinch. So we're right where we need to be.
All right, Matt Barnes ended his career winning an NBA title with some of those guys you just heard from on the Warriors. Golden State a little bit off the title track, as you just saw Sunday. All right, Matt, so how does Denver keep this little mini roll going?
I don't know if they can. I mean, hats off to Joker. He's averaging nearly 32, 12, and 5.5 assists on 56% from the field. But they're just shorthanded. You know, they've done a great job all season being shorthanded. They showed they didn't deserve to be swept today. But I think Golden State has done exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to work Steph back in. They wanted to continue to build Clay back up and work on the team chemistry. And they've been able to do that. So I expect Golden State to finish it off in Game 5. But again, respect to Denver for definitely not getting swept and putting up a tough fight in Game 4.
No doubt. Once again, he mentioned Game 5, Warriors with an opportunity to close it out. That would be in San Francisco on Wednesday. The Celtics can close it out against the Nets.